friends, Ribeye Ranger, Carnivore Gym here. I wanted to talk about something that I've noticed on some of our carnivore channels or in some of the chat sessions where a lot of people are wondering, how do you start a conversation with someone about the carnivore way of eating? And I got to thinking about that. That's a great question. And I had something happen just last week, and I wanted to talk about it before too much time had passed. I was in the gym, and I just locked up all my stuff, and I was starting to walk out to get out and start my workout. And a very big man came around the corner, and he wasn't a muscular man. So I just felt compelled to talk to him for a sec, and I just stopped him and I said, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a second? Can I talk to you?" I said, "I'm not selling anything."
I'm not crazy. I mean, I may look weird, but I'm just like you. I'm just a regular guy, just trying to make it in this business.
And he said, "Sure, no problem." He said, "Yeah, what do you got?" I said, "You know, just seeing you here is actually very inspirational. And, you know, just let me say it, I'm very proud of you just for being here today." I said, "This is awesome. I have no idea what brought you here, but I'm very grateful to see you here, you know, for your sake. And I've got something that I think might be able to help maximize your efforts here at the gym." And he said, "Sure, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, I have one of these cards here, and these are a list of carnivore doctors and a couple of very key sites that are very helpful. They're very helpful to anybody along a carnivore journey or a health journey." And I said, every one of those people has something to offer, sometimes something different to offer, or they say it in a different way, but it really will help you on this journey. I know you can maximize your efforts here at the gym. So I didn't come off like telling him, "I know what you got to do. You've got to do better. You've got to do this." No, obviously the guy's doing great. He lost 212 pounds on his own. And I just, in my brain, I thought, man, we could really jumpstart this with carnivore. But be respectful, be nice, and most importantly, be sincere when you're telling somebody something you think can help them. So anyway, he was a very nice young man. He said he was 40 years old. And I could tell you, man, I saw a very young face looking right at me. He was engaged. His eyes were on fire. He was happy. He had a great thick head of hair. And I just saw that normal size, proper human just wanting to break out of that body. It was awesome. We talked about the artificial sweeteners and sugars, and anything with OSE on the end is sugar. All carbohydrates turn to sugar in your body. He said, yeah, you know, one of the biggest things for me was trying to get off of artificial sweeteners. He said, that's the devil, because they tell you it's safe. They tell you it's a great alternative. You want to have a nice tasty drink? Don't worry about the sugar, just have artificial sweeteners. And that's bullshit. And he said, yeah, that was the hardest thing for me to get off of. I looked at him and I said, this is fascinating. I said, there's Todd Bacchus of Carnivore Cure. He said that was the hardest thing for him too, artificial sweeteners, getting off of diet drinks. Dr. Berry has an awesome video to help people taper off of artificial sweeteners or artificially sweetened drinks. I didn't want to carry on too long. And I looked at him and I said, man, I'm sorry. I hope I don't sound like I'm preaching. I just love this. I said, I lost 45 pounds. And I said, it's not that big of a deal. And he looked at me, he's really nice. He said, no, it's all relative, man. He said, if you needed to, that was good on you. And you connect on a different level when you're sincere. When you do the right thing for the right reasons. That's magic right there. But the last thing I said, and I gave him the card, and he said, thanks, man, I really appreciate this. And I said, well, like I said, I hope I'm not preaching to you. It just did so much for me and my wife. I just want to share it with you. He said, you know what? He said, I'd rather have people like you stop and talk to me than some of those people I see out there in the gym who look at me as if to say, what the hell are you doing here? You don't belong here. This isn't going to help you. Can you imagine what it feels like to walk around daily sensing that from other human beings? It doesn't matter what. They might not be very attractive. They might be overweight themselves. They might have 7 failed marriages. They might be broke. But they are judging you just because you're walking around. And especially in a place where you're supposed to try to be, you're getting better, you're improving your life. When you go to the gym, you're trying to do something right. Could you imagine that? So as far as talking to strangers, sometimes it's okay, man. And here are two things that really helped me out. When I first got accepted to the police academy in 1982, my mom and my dad were sitting there all talking. They said, wow. I said, you guys have any advice? I mean, I think you raised me right, but you got any advice? And my mom says, yeah. She said, you know what? Listen more than you speak. That's why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. So when you're hearing somebody, listen more than you speak. If a witness is trying to tell you what happened, calm them down and reassure them, and then let them tell their story. If a crime victim, when a crime victim is going to talk to you, you really need to listen more than you speak. And sometimes there's going to be a pause in that conversation while they're speaking, and they're trying to collect their thoughts, sort of like I am right now. But there's going to be a pause in their conversation, so just keep listening. They'll tell you. And the other thing she said was, always put yourself in the other guy's shoes. Now, I'm pretty sure she didn't mean the crook's shoes or the criminal's shoes. No. My mom meant, put yourself in the victim's shoes. Put yourself in the witness's shoes. And as a carnivore, I'm saying, you put yourself in that other person's shoes. The person who you chose to talk to. Put yourself in their shoes. Yeah, you have success, and we all want to talk about it, man. Oh, we want to brag about our success, believe me. And you all know, the ones of you that have started Carnivore, you understand what I'm talking about, or even Keto and Ketovore. I'm not here to disparage Keto or Ketovore. But Carnivore's worked for me, and that's what I'm talking about today. And the other way is, when you approach someone, or you see someone you might want to talk to, or you might be able to help, or you might be able to give them one of these cards, just go up to them and say, hey, you got a minute? How are you doing today? How are you feeling? And then, zip it. Because if they take you seriously, they're going to want to open up a little bit. By the same token, if they say, you know, man, I really got to run. I can't talk today. So that's fine, you know. I'm not trying to convert them to Krishna or anything like that, you know. But if you're talking about their health and well-being and you think you might have something to offer, just go up and ask them, how are you feeling today? And then wait, see what happens. Some of them might just say, you know, I'm really having a crappy day. And it may not be about their health at all, but at least you showed concern for another human being at that moment in time. And that can make all the difference. And you might get a chance to talk about Carnivore right then. And you know, if you're talking to someone who's a little bigger and they're struggling, or you know, you see them eating a salad and you're at the table next to them at the restaurant and you just see them struggling, you say, how are you doing today? Can we talk about something for a sec? I have something that might be able to help you out if you're interested. And I'm thinking 9 out of 10 times, if you are sincere, if you're doing the right thing for the right reason, you can make a difference right then and there. So the last thing I'll say about talking to someone about Carnivore or anything important, you know, in this day and age, when you're speaking with someone, there's nothing more rude than texting on your phone while you're talking. Oh yeah, really? I'm sorry, your mom died? That's a damn shame. Oh, your dog got run over by a car? Whew, boy, that hurts. I've been there. Seriously? Lose the phone. Lose the distractions. If your purpose is to talk about Carnivore, do the right thing for the right reasons. Focus on the conversation. No distractions. Because what that other person is saying should be the most important thing to you at that moment that you could be engaging in right there. And to my new friend Larry at the gym, in the words of the great Kerry man to Bill Knott when he started his journey, you got this, buddy! Come on, man! You got this! Strike up a conversation. Sometimes it's okay to talk to strangers.